So I just watched The Amateur starring Lawrence Fishburne and Rami Malek. So let's talk about it. So this movie stars Rami Malek as a CIA agent. He's one of their tech guys. He's apparently very smart. He's got an IQ of 180. I think that's the number. His wife goes on a business trip in London and she ends up becoming a hostage and then getting killed execution style. And Rami Malek's character wants justice, revenge, anything he can get for some closure. He goes to his superiors and they act like it's not a big deal, at least from his view. And so he blackmails them into getting just a little bit of training so that he can go after his wife's killers himself. He, at this point, wants revenge, and he's going to use his IQ and whatever training he can get to go after them. And that's where we meet Lawrence Fishburne's character. He's the one in charge of training him until Rami Malek's superiors can find any information he has on them and what happened. And then they're supposed to, Lawrence Fishburne's character is supposed to get rid of the problem. Anyway, Rami Malek's character sees it coming. He basically got trained just enough to make himself disappear for a time. Problem is, Rami Malek's character isn't a killer, and so it makes him have to find very specific ways to off these men who are responsible for killing his wife. So throughout the movie, rather than just a bunch of gun kills and hand-to-hand combat, he has to outsmart every single one of them. And I think that's definitely the biggest positive, is they do a good job of finding creative ways for him to take down his wife's killers. And I thought that was the highlight of the movie, was the creative choices they made there. I will say the film is pretty well paced. It didn't drag hardly at all for me. Lawrence Fishburne is amazing as always. Rami Malek, even though I don't usually care for him, he's pretty good in this movie. None of the actors in this movie are bad. And while there isn't a whole lot of action, the action that is done well. And there are, like I said, unique ways they kill off some of the characters. There's a chase scene I thought was pretty intriguing. But let's move on to the negatives. I think the biggest problem for me is, even though Rami Malek's acting in this movie isn't bad, for some reason I just can't get on board with caring for the character. And since he's the one going through all these problems, I find that to be a pretty big issue. And when this is supposed to be an action thriller, I praised the pacing a little earlier in this video. However, there's not a whole lot of action, not a whole lot of thrills. Overall, it didn't keep me on the edge of my seat wondering what was coming next. What they were trying to do, I think they did well. It's just, it's not going to stick out enough from any of the other action thrillers that come out. There's tens of them that come out a year, so when you don't care about the main character that much, and you don't care about the overall story, it just makes it hard to watch the whole thing. Even if the pacing is done well, even if the action is done well, even if the acting is done well and above average. Anytime Lawrence Fishburne is in the movie, he's the most entertaining part of the film. So he's only got about maybe 10 minutes of screen time, and those 10 minutes are more enjoyable than the 50 minutes we see of Rami Malek that aren't his creative ways of taking out his wife's killers. So it's just an average action movie. Before we get to my final thoughts, notice I put on a nice shirt. This is my business shirt. I'm here to talk about business. I would like for you to like, comment, and subscribe if you like my videos. If you want me to keep making videos. If you want me to get better at making videos. Keep watching, keep liking, keep commenting, and please keep subscribing. Thank you. Let's get back to the video. So overall, this isn't a bad movie. It's an average action thriller. Watching it's not going to hurt you. Missing it's not really going to hurt you. If you want to see Rami Malek take people out in different creative ways using his IQ rather than his muscle and fighting ability, then you might enjoy this movie. If you enjoy Rami Malek as an actor, you might enjoy this movie. He's not my favorite, but Lawrence Fishburne's in this movie, so it goes up a little bit for me. I appreciate the creative kills, so it goes up for me again. The pacing's pretty good. Nothing about the story is unique. Nothing about the main character makes me feel or connect with him. So it's just a 6 out of 10 for me. On Letterboxd, I'd give it a 3 out of 5. If you like these types of movies, it's worth a watch. It's on Hulu if you want to see it. Thanks for watching.